Everyone, I'm going to go ahead and call the meeting to order. I will note that all board members are present with the exception of Council President Hudson and Karen Cordano. And just note that we have Pam Odom here representing the superintendent. So welcome, Pam. And with that, we will move to the first item on the agenda, which is the minutes from the June 22nd, 2023 meeting. And I will entertain a motion to accept.
So moved.
Any further discussion? All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Carried. Next up, we will turn to the secretary. Good morning, Joe.
Good morning, Mayor and board members. Today we have a milestone. Landon and Ryan is going to present their final diversity report for Phase 2.
Oh.
And that pretty much sums up my report.
Great. Exciting. Thanks, Joe.
You.
All right. Next up, before that, that report, we are going to go to our program manager and welcome Chris to the microphone.
Morning, everybody.
Morning.
So not a whole lot to report out this morning, but we'll cover some ground here. Just upper left was where we usually start here in terms of project approvals. I'm happy to report out that we've got all of our change orders have now been submitted to SED and are under review. And so that'll be a process over the next couple of months where they review those and come back to us. We're not sure exactly how many months, right, Donna? Sometimes that takes a little bit. So, but right. I'm happy to know that they're all in there and we're doing well on that. Underneath tranche 1, we reported out last time that the reports are in and we're in good shape with that one. In terms of tranche 2, I have a few final payments we anticipated initially for this month, but it looks like they're going to go to next month. We just got some stuff that's just been lagging a little bit, and we want to get all the documentation in. So we'll have a final payment for the GC for Henniger, for the architect for Henniger, for CNS, and for our for CNS. That'll be August, and then we anticipate for ourselves in September for that. So in terms of work that's out there, at Henniger is really the piece that we're working on. They had to rebalance a portion of the HVAC system in order to satisfy the engineer with respect to making sure that that's been commissioned and balanced properly. So they're scheduled to do that here in the next week or so to have that put in place. And then also we had another functional test of the PA system scheduled for tomorrow because we've been chasing some gremlins in the PA system where we've had some intermittent issues. So just continuing to run that to ground. So it's those two issues that really prevented us from being able to be in a position to put out final payment. We want to make sure that that's 100% before we go there with it. Mm-hmm. So that's where we are there. In terms of final cost reports, I only have, there's 2 that are remaining, one for Elms and one for Henniger, and we know where we are with those. It's just a matter of, again, rendering some final payments on a couple of those to enable us to then submit that final cost report to State Ed. So would also like to just report out that we don't, I know Donna's going to touch on budget here after, but just wanted to report out that based on having those change orders executed and all the final payment amounts calculated, we completed the project. Happy to report that we completed the project well within budget. It's been a long, 6-year road to get here, but happy with where we are with that, and I think other folks are as well. So just wanted to communicate that to the folks. That's largely it for me, unless there's questions.
Report, questions?
Chris, did you want to mention the contract extension?
Oh, for ours, yeah. There's a resolution there. It's a no cost extension, but just because of where our contractually we were at the end of June, mm-hmm. and we're still chasing a few of these final payments to ground. So we had Joe had put a resolution together just to extend our contract, the end date for that, so that it'll keep us in play there for a little bit longer.
To when?
To the end of October.
October 31st.
Yeah.
Okay. Comfortable you'll be well within that time frame.
Yeah.
Anything else for Chris? All right.
All right.
Thank you, sir. Good. Next up, we have our financial statement, and we will welcome Donna to the microphone.
Morning.
Morning.
Okay, I'm going to cover our one-pager, and it looks like this. You should have it all in front of you. It's the financial summary for May. And some of the highlights were we did receive a subsidy payment from the federal government. We had some interest earnings, debt service payments. We had vendor payments that were approved in April, The ones that were approved in May will be reflected in the June statement because of the late timing of the meeting. And we did end the month with $12.9 million in cash and $122 million in fund balance. So I'll cover the cash inflow section first. And the current month's activity includes the subsidy payment that we received for $363,000, and then interest earnings of $14,000. The year-to-date column reflects all activity from July through May, and it includes the state aid intercept, subsidy, interest earnings, the Ed Smith claim settlement, and national grid rebates, all totaling $35.5 million. We are projecting for the fiscal year of 2023, which will end on June 30, and that is in the projected column. It reflects $34.1 million in state aid, $724,000 in subsidy payments, $196,000 in interest, $270,000 for the Ed Smith claim, and $473,000 we're projecting for national grid rebates up to end of June. So that gives us a total of 35.8. I do want to mention, though, we are expecting more national grid incentive rebates. Those are coming in fast and furious here in the month of July, so we'll have an update next month. But it's kind of nice to. Looks like we're going to probably get close to $800,000 back just in incentive rebates, which is good. Mm-hmm. The cash outflows for the month, the activity is $195,000 for the total vendor payments. And those are, as I said, those were approved in April, and the May payments will show up in June. We had $27.1 million in debt service payments, both principal and interest, and that was for both Phase 1 and Phase 2 bonds. And we transferred out the $363,000 subsidy payment to the district, as we always do, to offset the debt service. Our year-to-date, again, shows our activity from June to April, and it does include the construction and incidental payments, debt service, federal subsidy, transfer in the districts, and the total is 42.7. Our projected column reflects the projected cash inflow for all of 2023, and we're projecting approximately $8.9 million for construction and incidental payments. Our projected debt service is 33.6, and our subsidy $724,000 for a total of 43.3. So compared to the April statement, our cash did decrease by $27.2 million, and that was because of the debt service payments, vendor payments, and our interest income. So our little graph down there at the bottom shows our cash inflows. Some people like the visual better. In the blue, it shows $35.5 million, which we've already taken in, and the projected is $220,000 in the orange, and then the actual cash outflows is $42.7 million in the blue, and $650,000 in the orange. So does anybody have questions?
Questions for Donna?
No? Okay.
Good.
That concludes my report. Thank you.
Okay. Final report for the day before we entertain two resolutions comes from our partners at Landon and Ryan, and we will welcome Lloyd to the microphone.
Good morning, everyone. Good to see you. It's been a long time. Just wanted to say we are excited about the numbers that we're going to present today. But after 6 years, not saying board meetings are boring, but we wanted to do something a little different. And I still have the paper copy, but we wanted to kind of show the faces and the buildings behind the numbers. We come in, we talk about the numbers, but show some of the people that participate in that. It's only 6 minutes, and everybody's report was short, so I think I'm good. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to our final JSCB, MWBE, and EEO compliance report. Our first page lists out all of the professional services and construction firms that participated on the project through June of 2023 for Tranche 1 and Tranche 2. Our summary page shows us all of the final goals, percentages, and dollars spent with MWBE firms. As of June 2023, the minority hours totaled 316,206. The female hours totaled 165,143. The residential hours totaled 348,456. And former Syracuse City School District student hours total 125,491,000. Now, what we've all been waiting for. The final minority goal is at 19.37%. The women is at 10.12%. The residency is at 21.35%. And Syracuse former students is at 7.69%. The final approved MBE is at 13.47%, and the WBE is at 16.12%. All goals for this project have been exceeded. Not only that, but $81,061,278 was paid to just the City of Syracuse firms for this project. Now we wanted to take a few seconds in between the data to show everyone the faces, the hard-working people behind the numbers, and show you a little bit of the building and what we experienced during our years on this project. Now that we've seen the goal achievements, let's see how we got there. Starting with professional services for the MBE, $9,175,456 was approved for utilization. Of that, $8,915,000 was paid out, so about 97.17%. All of that is within the 5% retainage threshold. Now we go over to the women WBE professional services. $9.1 million was approved for utilization. Of that, $8,915,000 was paid out. So again, 97% of that within the 5% retainage threshold. Over to construction tranche 1, minority business enterprise utilization. $10,938,000 was approved for utilization. Of that, $10,680,000 was paid out. So 97.65% has been paid out to date. Construction for women, WBE, $18,515,000 was approved for utilization. Of that, $18,118,000 was paid out, so 97.85% for the construction for tranche 1. Now when we move to construction tranche 2 MBEs, a total of tranche 1 and tranche 2 is $28,650,000, of which $27,892,000 was paid out, so 97.35% for tranche 2 was paid out to MBE firms on the construction side. Now if we head over to construction tranche 2 for the WBE firms, a total of $40,237,000 for tranche 1 and tranche 2 was subcontracted out, of which $39,182,000 was paid out, so 97.38% was paid out to the WBE firms. We're going to see how we got those fantastic EEO numbers. Next is our compilation of all EEO professional services hours for tranche 1 and tranche 2. We have 398,000 total hours, of which 79,000 were minority, 101,000 were women, 90,000 were residents, and 53,000 were City of Syracuse students. Gave us percentages of 19.84% for minority, 25.46% for women, 22.57% for resident, and 13.32% for students. Now, we add everything together, our total hours for the project is 1,632,000. Total hours, 316,000 of that is minority, 165,143 is women, 348,456 of those hours are resident, and 125,491 of those hours are former students. That gives us a grand total of 19.37% for minority, 10.12% for women, 21.35% for residents, and 7.69% for students. This concludes our JSCB compliance report. Miguel could not be here today, but on behalf of the entire Landon and Ryan team, we wanted to say thank you for the opportunity to work with you all on this project. Phase 1 was a success, and now Phase 2 is a success, and it's because of the support of the JSCB to our team throughout this project that helped us all succeed together. Thank you, and have a great day.
Awesome.
Your son has a future.
And I have any questions?
Questions for Lloyd?
No, Lloyd, I'd just like to make a comment, and make a comment with the whole project. Obviously, this has been a long journey, and just to be transparent, it's great to see some of those pictures. You know, we know that we're always inundated by images of the city, and some of the things I know that the mayor has to constantly deal with. But it's great to see some of these success stories, and it's great to see this is translated into real dollars.
Absolutely.
$81 million, that's real dollars. That's staying here in the city with a combination of all of our city residents. So that's extremely powerful when we take a look at the total picture of all of the projects that were done. And I know Chris probably, after some of the meetings, have to go and take some of the Valium to cope, but you don't have to divulge that. But just saying that, you know, again, we know this has certainly been an arduous journey for both, you know, Chris and the Turner company and what you guys have done, but it's absolutely amazing, and it's great to see the end result and the reflection of the people who actually are part of the projects. That's the reality. We sit here, we make decisions, we talk about things, we decide, but it's great to see the lives that have been impacted by this. And so great, and kudos to both of you. So congratulations.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it. I just want to add one last thing. We're actually the compliance officer for Yonkers City School District in Middletown. They're not even touching this. When we explained to them what you guys were doing within City of Syracuse, we tried to give them that idea. We helped them with the front ends. They didn't want to touch this. They thought it'd be too hard. So I told them Syracuse did it, and they did it big. So we're using you guys as the model for any future projects that we're on.
On that point, Lloyd, I'll just echo what Larry said. You know, a lot of people have been talking for a long time about how to do inclusive construction and development, but not many have been able to pull it off. And we've heard time and time again, folks in the city, in our neighborhood, saying when they walk by projects, they don't see people that look like them. And they didn't say that on this project. And that was because of the intentionality of this board. And not just good intentions are half the battle, and it's great that we have that, but then you have to follow through and you have to invest in the process. And we did that. And we couldn't have done it without Landon Ryan. So thank you, Lloyd, for that,
So much.
as well as the rest of the team. Our team at the city, engineering, team at the district, we all worked hand in hand to make this work. And as you said, it is a model now that others are going to follow, but that we need to follow and we need to expand upon as we go into phase 3. So really looking forward to doing that.
Excellent. Thank you so much. Appreciate you guys. Thank you.
Great. Okay, looks like we have 2 resolutions, so I'm going to turn it back over to Joe to introduce them.
Thank you, Mayor. But before we do that, we have a couple of new staff that are supporting JSCB I want
Right.
to acknowledge.
Please.
Mike Cannizzaro, the new city's finance commissioner, is here with us today.
Morning, Mike. Welcome.
And we also have Rebecca Lumpkin, and I want to make sure I get her title correct, Assistant Director of Equity, Compliance, and social impact.
Good morning, Rebecca.
we-
I saw Rebecca's head nodding as we were going through, so Rebecca is going to make this happen on all of our projects. So no pressure.
We look forward to working with her on Phase 3.
Great, thrilled to have you both on the team, and yeah, excited to move forward. Thank you, Joe.
Welcome, and on to the resolutions. We have resolution number 7.
You know who you are, Tom. No, I'm just kidding.
Florio is also replaced Dean DeSantis, who's retired.
Great, welcome, Dr. DeFlorio.
Thank you, Tom. and I
Another
apologize
familiar
I did not-
face. Good, thank you. Anybody else? For the good of the
Join
order.
team.
Okay, all right, back to you, Joe.
Yes, thank you. So resolution number 7 would authorize the payment of our monthly contractor bills for the previous month of June.
Did we miss 6?
Number 7.
Number 7, sorry. Got it,
Item
got it.
6,
Okay,
number 7.
got it. Okay, thank you. Entertain a motion.
Second?
Any further discussion? All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Carried.
And the next item would be resolution number 8, which would extend the program manager's contract at no cost until October 31st, 2023, as we discussed earlier.
Motion. Second. Any further discussion? All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Carried.
That completes our resolutions for today.
Okay. Any other business to come before the board? All right, I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved?
All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Meeting is adjourned. Thanks, everybody. Enjoy the rest of the summer.